This is the worm gear finished. So you can see got a sketch here for an extrude. We've got a cut revolve all the way around there. We've got a cut revolve here, a little bit more of a complicated profile. Chamfer right here. Fillet. And another cut for the keyway right there. Okay. So let's get started. On our front plane, we're going to start our sketch. Circle, click on the origin. I'm going to bring that out to about there, and we're going to do another one about like that. Okay, this little one in the middle, 0.625. Outer one, 2.25. Accept sketch. Turn it a little bit. Okay, so we have done a bunch of different extrusion processes. We've done, or I think we just have done two, blind and up to surface. This time we're going to do mid-plane. So that means it's going to move out in both directions. And for this one, we want a mid-plane of 1 inch. Okay, you can even see our front plane is halfway in between, and that is where our profile is. Okay, on our right plane, we are going to do another sketch. We're going to cut that groove all the way around. We're going to put it right about here, and we're going to have our axis right here. Circle sketch. Going to tap right on the midpoint right there. And the dimension for this, size of the diameter, is 0.625. Okay, and let's see. I'm going to go back to this, and I'm going to draw in a center line right here. Okay, with that highlighted, I'm going to go to revolved cut, and since we have an axis in here and we have a profile and it's selected, it's going to automatically preview that for us. Click to accept. Make sure we're saving. Okay, so now we have the more complicated revolve cut. And this one gets a little bit harder to see because we're going to be inside this part, but we still need to see what's going on. So we are going to change our visibility here, and that's right here, display style. We've got shade with edges, which is what we do most of the time, shaded without edges, hidden lines removed, hidden lines visible, and this is all wireframe. So we're going to turn on hidden lines visible. And it looks like that. So we're going to do a sketch on the right plane. And now you can see kind of what's going on. You can see where that hole is located right here, and that's helpful in this case. I'm going to draw in my axis. And then I'm going to have my line command here, and I'm going to start somewhere up here. I'm over here. I don't know why it did it construction. That's weird. There we go. Line here, go down, over, right there. I don't know why it's not. There it goes. Okay. Okay, so from this line to this line, this is going to be 0.4. The height here is going to be 0.25. And let's see, we need a distance. I don't see it. Okay, so this is a little bit of a different dimensioning technique. The drawing instructions want this to be from this edge to the mirror. From down here, the mirror side of this, we would want that to be 1 inch, and this point across the center line to 2. So you could either do a little bit of math and say, okay, well, if that's 1, this is 0.5. And if this is 2, then it means, if this is 2, then this would be 1. But there's a trick to this, which is pretty neat. If you start your dimension from the center line here, and then touch, say, here on this one, and then cross over here, that'll give you the dimension mirrored across. So that's 1. And we're going to do the same thing for that point. Center line, point, cross the center line, and this is 2. Okay. Click to accept. Oh, I forgot something. Edit sketch. Center line. Mirror. About. Center line. There we go. I don't know why it's not there. It goes. Okay. So now with this selected, we're going to do another revolve cut. And for this time, it didn't know which one to use. Okay, so we've got that spun all the way around. Because we're not in our shaded with edges, it looks different. I'm going to turn that on, and you can see what it's going to look like. Okay. Looks good. Now we're going to add a chamfer. And what we've done up until now is a fillet, which is just a rounded edge. And the difference between a fillet and a chamfer is an angled cut. So we're going to select this line here. And there's a bunch of different ways you can do it. You can do distance and angle. You can do distance, distance. And then and then you can give it the face distance, the cut distance. We're going to do this one right here. Distance, distance, and it's symmetric. And we want this to be I'm going to change the way we're doing this. Let's do this first method here, angle and distance, because we know that it's going to be the same on each side, and that's what the 45 means. So it's going to be 0.145. Okay, we can see how that's going to look. Okay, we're also going to do it on this edge here. Okay. Let's add a couple of fillets. Fillet. This is symmetric fillets, and this is 0.0625. And we're going to select this face here and turn our model and do this face there. Okay. All right, now we need to cut our keyway. Okay, front plane, sketch. Okay, so we want to cut our keyway right in here. So I'm going to do a rectangle, corner rectangle, and I'm going to put it somewhere right around in here. Okay, so we need to add some relations here. We need this keyway to be centered on the part, which means this origin needs to line up with the center of this circle. Sorry, this rectangle. So I'm going to hover over this line here, and I'm going to right click. And what we've done up until now is we have gone and add a relation, click on the line, and then we could select this, and then we could add a relation that way. What I do, and I'm going to do from now on, is I skip that extra step, and I'm going to do it a different way. So I'm going to click here on the origin, I'm going to hold Control, and I'm going to click this line. And I want to do midpoint. So that means I want that midpoint of that line to touch the origin. I'll show that one more time. Control Z to undo. I could also right click and go to select midpoint, hold Control, click the origin, and say coincident. It's the same thing. That might actually be a little bit easier. Okay, now I'm just going to drag this up into here. So I'm just going to hover over this line, press and hold my left mouse button, and I'm going to pull this up. Now another trick, we need to give it a dimension from this line to the very apex of this circle. Now the smart dimension by default is not going to know what to do, because giving the dimension from here to this, it doesn't know what to do. So we are going to use a special trick using the Shift key in order to do that. Smart dimension. We're going to click the line here, hold Shift, and click the top of the circle. Might take a couple tries to do that. The distance there is going to be 0.094. And we need to add our width. So we could click on this line and this line, or I could just click on this line, 0.188. Okay. Accept the sketch. I'm going to turn the model a little bit and zoom out. Extruded cut. I'm going to do, I could either do mid-plane and just extend it a certain distance out, or the best thing would be to do through all both. So that means it's going through everything in both directions. Okay. Accept that sketch. Make sure we're saving. And the last thing, we're going to add our material. This is a 1020 apply, close, and there we are. To learn more about our program, check us out at fvcc.edu, and for more tips and tricks, subscribe to this channel.